Hey everyone, after a recent experience literally about 30 minutes ago as of the time of this article, I just wanted to do a quick editorial and article on public transportation and the operators, whether it's train, bus, trolley, whatever. I walk and take the bus everywhere, Atlanta bus to be specific, down here in Allentown. I did have a crash course last year in SEPTA down in Philadelphia. I'll tell you what, I have a lot of respect for anyone who makes the choice to operate a public transportation vehicle, again, whether it's a bus, train, trolley, whatever, because what people fail to realize is that every time you make the choice to board public transportation, or whether even planes, etc., you are making a choice to place your life in the hands of someone else. All right, I'm being serious here. Every time you get onto a bus, every time you get onto a plane, every time you get onto a train, you are saying, I trust that operator enough that to put my life in their hands. It's the reality of it. So here's what happened. I was on the Atlanta bus from Bethlehem coming over here to Allentown, the 220. It was approximately between 10 and 11. It was the 220. Yeah, the 220 was the bus I was on. So apparently I was on my phone like a lot of people, just getting some stuff done. And apparently the driver overshot a stop where a lady was standing. Actually, she said she was standing out in the street. So the driver stops, she gets on the bus, and she gives him an attitude right away, like, well, what, you didn't see me or anything? And the driver, I don't know if he was having a bad day or whatever. Now here's where the driver was wrong, okay? The driver gave her an attitude right back, and with her between the two, that easily could have escalated the situation. But in the driver's defense, with her attitude right off, after he looked at her and he said, words were exchanged, and at one point he said, you don't have to be on this bus, you need to get, I could have you removed from this bus. And she's like, no, she goes, no, you can't. And she, it just, the war of the words escalated. Well, the driver stopped, called it into Atlanta, and called the police to have the woman removed from the bus. And I don't blame him, because the woman sat near me, and with her attitude, I didn't feel safe as a passenger with her attitude. So, you had a couple people, yelling at the driver, come on, well, the driver said to everyone, she disrespected me. That was wrong with the driver, honestly. The driver could have handled that situation a lot better. I'm not defending him. I'm not defending anyone in the situation or attacking anyone. But the driver did take the appropriate response with, apparently in his judgment, this woman, with her attitude, was, I don't want to say not safe, but like I said, I was sitting near her and I was like, okay, next stop, I'm getting off, I'm bailing out, I'll catch the next bus. At that point, with her attitude, which takes a lot for me to do. So the driver stopped. Then after a few minutes, I don't know whether he received a message from Atlanta or whatever, he started driving. Well, apparently the police pulled up behind the bus, so he stopped again and talked to the officers, and the officers looked at the woman and said, you have to get off the bus. Came on the bus, says, you have to get off. The woman gave the officers no problem, left the bus, and it was a relatively short time frame. Now, a gentleman who was sitting not that far behind me was saying, oh, come on, I got to get to work and everything, which I do understand and respect. People take public transportation to get to work. But again, this only could have escalated the situation and made it much worse. Personally, I just sat there and kept my mouth shut and used my brain, honestly. But I do give a lot of credit, even though the driver chose to, verbally confront the woman. it is his job, it was his job to make sure that everyone on that bus arrived at their stop safely, number one. Number two, the drivers are on a schedule, which they have to keep. So some of the passengers then started saying, oh, he was speeding. Well, personally, even though I wasn't really paying attention, I didn't feel he was speeding. Secondly, how do you know he's speeding if you're not looking at the speedometer? How can you tell 5 miles either way? Most people can't, especially in a large vehicle like that. So every time you board any form of public transportation or transportation where you are not in control of this, completely in control of the situation, even if they miss your stop. I mean, it's happened to me before. 4th and New Street, Bethlehem. Happened to me twice. I was staying on the street, driver shot right past. Yeah, I was upset, but I got on the next bus. Oh well, nothing I can do about it now. You know, and if you do feel like the operator of that vehicle, you know, missed your stop, or if they were speeding, or if they were not doing their job to the best of their ability, remember, you can always call up here in the Lehigh Valley, Atlanta, down in Philadelphia, SEPTA, Greyhound, whatever, Bieber, whatever, and you can call them up. You can call up the main office and say, look, or email them and say, I have a very serious complaint about about the experience I had on that method of transportation with that operator. Because if you go off on the operator, chances are you're just going to make the situation worse for everyone on board, and you are going to hold things up even farther for everyone else and yourself. So you may have had a really bad day, you may be really pissed off and upset, angry, whatever, but those drivers are under a lot of pressure, and those operators, and also you stepped on that public transportation voluntarily. You placed your life and safety in their hands alone. Remember that. Michael Phoenix, founder and staff of the magazine. Take care everyone, and above all, please stay safe. There's still a little bit of summer left. Enjoy it.